Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's West Ham Daily. Well, not an awful lot of stuff I can tell you about that I didn't already cover in my West Ham Weekly show last night, which went on for quite a while. But I guess the talking point is still the waiting for the outcome of the Balbuena appeal. We know that the club have put in an appeal to rescind the red card. We all know it's going to get overturned, but I tried to sort of get a bit of understanding as to how we even got here, how it even became a red in the first place. And I thought I'd look into the VAR rules and see if I can fathom anything from that. So we know it was wrong. The referee made a massive error. You could see it in his eyes after he gave the decision. He looked uncertain, didn't he? And I just wonder if VAR influenced the referee on the decision, because what we believe he saw was this. We believe that the minute he went over to the VAR monitor, that's the first thing he saw. He saw Balbuena's foot on Chilwell's thigh, on his leg, sorry. And I reckon that's probably what made him decide that it was a red card. He didn't see the fact, played in normal motion rather than slow motion, that Balbuena actually went and kicked the ball and followed through on the ball, keeping his eye on the ball. And when his foot came down, Chilwell was coming towards him, and there's nowhere else that Balbuena could possibly put his foot. So I thought, okay, let's have a look at the rules, the VAR rules on red card decisions. So let's try and fathom it out. All red cards awarded in the Premier League will automatically be checked by the video assistant referee. Right, so this time round, this wasn't about a red card being given. It was a decision. So VAR, the referee didn't decide this is a red card. In fact, it was almost like play on. The VAR will also check for possible red card incidents for which the on-field referee has awarded a yellow card or no card at all. And this is where the VAR rule comes in. So the people in the VAR box, wherever the hell they are, decided that the referee missed it. So VAR would ask the referee to go and look at it, because the referee didn't even give a yellow, So they said to him, you need to go and check this out. Okay, following the rules as we go along. The VAR will look to identify a clear and obvious error. Right. There wasn't a clear and obvious error. So how did VAR establish that they would have seen it in normal time? So did they believe that the referee made an error in not seeing the so-called foul? The on-field referee will explain his decision to the VAR and what he has seen. Well, so VAR said to the referee, we think there's an issue here. The referee would have gone over and gone, I haven't seen anything, so I'm fine to carry on. But then VAR must have insisted, well, you need to go and see this on the screen. Am I wrong? The on-field referee will explain his decision to the VAR and what he has seen. The referee at that point would have said, I haven't seen anything. So VAR should have accepted the referee's decision, no? If the evidence provided to the VAR by the broadcast footage does not accord with what the referee believes he has seen, then the VAR can recommend an overturn. They can recommend an overturn, but the final decision will remain with the on-field referee. Now, Why would VAR want to do? I'm now confused as to what VAR is all about. My understanding was that by all means VAR might recommend that a referee should look at something. Why should they recommend a decision? Why should they put that doubt in the referee's mind? Surely they should just say to the referee, look, you should go and have a look at this. And then, as that bottom sentence says, surely the final decision will remain with the referee. The fact that VAR, the people in VAR, can recommend an overturn, isn't that wrong? Surely VAR should be there just to say to the referee, you might have missed this, go and have a look, see what you think, and leave it to the referee to decide what he wants to do. The fact that they put doubt in the referee's mind by being able to recommend an overturn is wrong, isn't it? Surely to goodness, VAR is only there to just say to the referee, you need to have a look and leave it at that. Because that bottom sentence should be the final thing. The final decision remains with the ref. But if you put the element of doubt in the referee's mind by going, you know what, lad, you might deserve something a bit more there. That's gonna put doubt in the referee's mind. For possible red card incidents unseen by the match officials, the VAR has a short window to intervene. How long and how many times did it take for them to play over and over and over and over again? And throughout the course of VAR being introduced into the game, how long have we sat there? If you remember last season, sitting in the stands, in the terraces, and waiting for and it would take an age. I mean, what is this short window to intervene? 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds, 4 or 5 minutes? Because sometimes these decisions that are not clear cut takes an awful long time to be decided upon. So even that is not being followed, isn't it? VAR is a short window to intervene. And yet we can sit there for 3 or 4 minutes waiting for an outcome. If the ball is in play, VAR has until the next restart of play. Fine, but that wasn't the case in this particular incident. If the ball is out of play, VAR has until the second restart of play. If the ball is out of play, VAR has until the second restart of play. What does that mean? The ball's out of play. What's the second restart? The restart it's the first restart. The ball's out of play. You take a corner, you take a throw on. What's the second restart? I don't understand that. Bit confusing. For incidents not captured by the match officials or by VAR, the FA's retrospective disciplinary process remains. Okay, so not only do we have the referee getting it wrong, and we also now have the VAR getting it wrong, but we could even, if it passes those two tests, we can still have the retrospective disciplinary process to sort of turn around and go, well, we think there was an incident. So let's state, for example, the referee misses a red card. Let's take, for example, VAR misses a red card. A third body can turn around and go, you're both wrong. We think it's this. How many bloody checks do you want? Mind you, in this case, when it's a wrong red card, I favour that. And finally, the VAR will not intervene for an incident where a second yellow card leads to a red, unless the VAR believes the second yellow card should be upgraded to a red. Why is that? Why should the VAR not intervene in a second yellow card? I don't understand. But, I'm reading the rules and I just keep thinking to myself, the main one for me, let's go back to it if I can find it. This one, the first sentence here, if evidence provided by VAR through the broadcasting footage does not accord with what the referee believes he has seen, then VAR can recommend an overturn. I think that's wrong. Now it works both ways. I admit it does work both ways, because a referee could award a red card and it may not be right, but that bottom sentence surely should count, shouldn't it? The final decision remain with the on-field ref. Now what's going to happen is we're waiting for the outcome of the appeal. We know it's going to be overturned, and like I said, what the referee was probably shown was slow motion, and VAR probably start with that is bias in my mind. If that's what you're showing the referee when he's first going over to the screen, clearly it's in his head already. Oh, that is bad, isn't it? Didn't see that. You saw that. Didn't see that. Oop. Didn't see. Oh, excuse me. Didn't see this incident. He saw something completely different. So clearly he didn't see the player kicking the ball. He saw the player's foot on Chilwell's thigh. I keep saying thigh is whatever it is. Right. What about some comments? Let's see what you guys have to say about this. Good afternoon, Sean. I hope you're well. Good afternoon, Stu. Reese, hello, mate. I hope you're well. Still time. Hey, I don't think I was late. Was I? Gary, I hope you're well, mate. Afternoon to you as well. Sabina, it's still o'clock. Reese, you're all right. I'll be late for my own funeral. That is very true. I've said that myself. Fouls in full speed. It should always be the case, D. Lee. I absolutely agree, mate. I think that's the way it should be. That's the way fouls should be seen. Kent, you can see what you want if you want to see it and slow it down like the refs do. Should be made to look at it full speed and nothing else. Absolutely agree. Patrick, hello, mate. Morning. That red was terrible. Totally, yeah, very, very bad. And anyone that can justify it, or as David Moyes said, clearly doesn't know anything about football. Kent, you can clear this all up if we follow the rugby model and the mic and mic the ref up. Well, the ref is mic'd up to VAR. It has to be done, and they should come out and explain themselves. The money they're on is good money now. Yeah, I think they should stand in the middle of the field and say, so it can be. And I think, if they call it out on the pitch, it should be contested, at that moment in time. Gary, wish they would get rid of it altogether. I do as well. I absolutely do. It's awful. D. Lee, and this is my point. It's influencing a weak ref, and I think, the referee didn't see anything. He played. We were playing on, and yet the referee was called. Not only was he called over, was he influenced to say? What was it recommended to by VAR to say we think this is a red card? I mean, I can only think because he was clearly influenced not only by the images but by the VAR officials as well. Gary still turned up late. They all fell asleep. Good afternoon, Daniela. I hope you're well. Ted, I'm doing well, people. Great to hear that, Ted, and thank you for joining us, mate. Ted, I think the red was ball following you just pointed out. All saw was after the ball got kicked. Exactly, Ted. The ball was kicked. Where is the player's foot going to go? It can only come downwards, can't it? You can't levitate. Gary, when you're trying to clear a ball, your leg is going to come back down. Absolutely. Who's in the background? It might be Anton. I think that decision was one of the worst I've seen. Was it worse than Soucek's decision? Don't know. Was it? Oh, yeah. Sorry, I should take the image off. I completely forgot about that. Kept looking at it, trying to convince myself that it was wrong. Yeah, so we're waiting for the outcome. We're waiting to find out what's going to happen. And it's our luck it just happens to West Ham. Well, we think it does, but we know it doesn't. We know it doesn't. But of course, when it affects us. But I did say in the West Ham Weekly last night that we did get quite a few decisions kind of going our way this season. And then the important end, the business end of the season, all of a sudden they're all going against us. Nippon, hello, mate. I know you were on the other day as well. Never a red. And this is from a Chelsea fan. Thanks for joining us, mate. Daniela, from last night, I left the shirt. From last night, I left the shirt at Elizabeth Studio Faliraki. It has loads of shirts run by a loved family. Oh, that was when you left your shirt abroad. Yes, remember you said that last night. I hope you're well, Daniela. Bonnie Hammer, the problem is when the referee is called to look at the screen, it plants a doubt in his head. Straight away it does. And then the fact that he keeps looking and looking and looking, you just knew, didn't you? As it wore on, it's like, and let's not forget there was another statement there about they've got a short window. Let me see if I can find that again. No, not that one. Not that one. There we go. For possible red card incidents unseen by the match officials, VAR has a short window to intervene. but it took minutes. It took, it wasn't a short window, was it? It felt like forever. And the longer it went on, we kind of knew red card's coming out. Red card is coming out. Good afternoon, Mandy. I hope you're well. No, Gary, I've taken the image off. Thank you. John McCarthy. Hello, mate. Still, the ref was told. Then they knew that they made an error. Hence, Sufal got nothing for his. I mean, that's the irony, isn't it, John? Almost an identical incident. So why on earth that if they knew they made that error, why make it? Why make it? Who made that decision for the ref? Was it the VAR officials that said we think you should give a red, or did the referee himself go, I think I should give a red, and then VAR went, yeah, we think you should give a red? If they've influenced him, surely they shouldn't be allowed. By all means, call the ref over to the screen and say, we think you should look at this. By all means, then shut your mouths in the VAR room and let the ref make a decision. And then it goes back to the penalty. Why does VAR decide that wasn't worth looking at? The Azpilicueta handball, and yet this was worth looking at. Mandy, really good point here. Martial's challenge on Balbuena was worse. Studs into his ankle, and yet played on. Nothing came of that. I mean, VAR is meant to sort of level out the errors. It's meant to eradicate the errors, and yet VAR is creating more errors itself. Why have it? Why have it if it's inconsistent? Why have it at all if it's inconsistent? It just doesn't make sense at all. Daniela, it was a VAR decision. Was even give us a free kick? Shouldn't have even been a free kick, should it? Kent, can we not have ex-pros fast-tracked up ref system because they understand the game and the rest clearly don't? Totally agree. Marcus, hello, mate. When it comes up on the screen, possible red card, who suggests that VAR ref or the on-field ref? Well, if it comes up as possible red card, I'm guessing it's got to be the VAR people that are putting that up. Possible red card. They shouldn't put that sign up, should they, mate? They should just leave it blank. Just like VAR in progress or whatever, or VAR checking incident, but not. I mean, that in itself is suggesting it's going to be a red card coming up. Toby, afternoon all from the glamorous Greyhound retail estate car park. I hope you're having fun, mate. I had an image on and I forgot to turn it off, Mandy. So they're all taking the pee out of me. Bonnie, I think it should be like rugby, referee mic'd up, open and transparent so we can all hear. Then the VAR tells them when they see and make a recommendation, needs to be open and transparent. I agree. But will it eradicate the mistakes? Even if it is? Macca, when a referee is going to be brave enough to turn around a decision that's been forced by VAR? I agree. And apparently, the referee, the on-field referee, he has the final decision. But I just wonder with VAR, does he really have the final decision? Does he really? Daniela, stop showing VAR on slow motion. I agree. It should be shown in real time. Scott, morning all, 7:48 a.m. in Canada. No way was that a red. Good morning to you, mate. I hope you're well. Marcus, no consistency, and I think this is the most galling thing of all, that there's no consistency with VAR. It was brought in to make things consistent. It was brought in to right the wrongs of the referee, and yet it's making mistakes itself, or the people that are running it and because they're still interpreting it in their own way. Surely to goodness, bring the referee over. Tell him to have a look at it. I think referees should be made to look at every decision, to be honest with you. I reckon the referee, because who knows? If the referee had seen the Azpilicueta handball on VAR, I bet you he would have given a bloody penalty. But he wasn't called over to see it. So VAR picks and chooses what they want to show the ref, what they want to bring to the attention of the referee. That ain't right. Bonnie, football should have a challenge like tennis, no checking everything. It should. I agree with that. Teams should get. Wasn't that discussed before? That teams should get. Should be allowed at least 2 or 3 challenges. VAR decisions should be able to sort of debate them or something. I thought that was once suggested, but I don't know. Gary, we're all for Real Madrid tonight. lost interest in Champions League, mate, years ago. But if it helps West Ham United, then fine. Richard McKello, new name. Thanks for joining us, mate. So proud to be West Ham. Fantastic season. No grumbles from me. You know, it's been a great season. Let's hope we still finish now that we know that down to 7th place can get us into any European competition. I think that'll be great for us. So yeah, very proud as well, mate. Always proud. Even when we lose them, we're all proud. Well, a bit less, but anyway. John McCarthy, they won't mic up the refs. They're untouchable. That's why the refs are not interviewed after matches, but they bloody well should be, shouldn't they? Lord Liam, if we had former pros or managers looking at the VAR, I don't think we'd have half the problems we have now. Absolutely 100% agree. Don't even let the refs see it. Leave it down to those actually watching the VAR. Totally agree. I think we should get former players and you know, people who know the game. Bit like what Moy said. You know, this guy's never played, clearly not played the game before. Mandy, VAR for offside and handball only. End of. Look, I don't mind VAR being used for things like handball, for dangerous play and all that sort of stuff, but bloody well, get it right. Whatever it's used for, get it bloody right. You know, and be consistent. Don't look at a handball 1 minute and another, and not look at another handball another minute. Don't look at a foul 1 minute and not look at another foul in the next minute. Be bloody consistent. Toby, I'd be up for rugby style, but there'd be 137 retrospective red cards every week for dissent with the way the players talk. Good. It'll stop the dissent, won't it? Reese, VAR should stand for virtual annoyance refereeing. It's before watershed, so I can't say what I think it stands for. Epic, hello mates. VAR works just fine in other leagues. It's 100% the refs. Hold them accountable. Does it? But that thing though, Epic, you know, they can recommend to the ref a decision, I think is wrong. So VAR would work absolutely fine if it just alerts the referee. Maybe I haven't got a problem with the referee being told, maybe you should have a look at this. I do have a problem with VAR officials going, we think you should give a red card for that. Now, I wonder what happened in that particular incident. Did the ref decide, yes, it's a red card, or did he get a little nagging in his ear going, well, look at it, we think you should give a red card? What, you know, the on-field ref's decision is final, and yet the VAR officials can recommend to him, you should give a red card for that. That bit's wrong. Nippon, Gary Rutter, after the whole Super League bullshit with Perez, anyone who is against corruption should support any team playing Real Madrid. Yeah, good point. Daniel O'Neill, hello, mate. Thought decision was overturned if it was clear and obvious. The red card wasn't, and many of the offsides this year are so close it's ridiculous. Yeah, very true. Thought decisions were overturned if it was clear and obvious. The red card wasn't. Well, are you suggesting that wasn't? Are you suggesting that wasn't an obvious red card, or it was an obvious red card? Well, I don't know. Stuart, hello, mate. I'm well. I hope you are too. John McCarthy, VAR and refs are biased to the bigger clubs. It's proven. It's what a lot of people say, and you know, when you talk about it, you're told to stop talking nonsense. So I don't know. Ted, VAR has put a hindrance on the game. Good has come from it. However, the wrongs far outweigh the rights. Did you mean no good has come from it? The wrongs far outweigh the rights. Daniela, the ref should just referee the game as they see it, only go to VAR when it stops, or to ask if there any reason to change the decision. Yeah, and I just wonder how he was advised on that one. Was he told you've made a mistake, you need to have a look, or just go and have a look? Was he recommended to hand out a red card? Who knows? Toby, Nippon, hate the owners, not the team, or you'd be in for some stick as well, bro. Kent, we're not a so-called top 6 club, and whether deliberately or not, I hope not. I hope the refs are not biased to those teams. It would never change. Gary, they don't want little old West Ham in the top 4. Full stop. It kind of does feel like that, doesn't it? I hope it ain't that. John, VAR and refs are biased to the bigger clubs. It's proven. Even Halstead said there's an issue with fixing for betting. Yeah, Mark Halstead sort of did come out saying that refs are advised to give a number of cards out and all that sort of stuff. Mick Anderson, meeting just finished and missed most of it. Afternoon on anyway. Mick, it's a short show, so you can watch the replay. Azzy, hello, mate. Biggest problem with VAR is in slow motion. Everything looks worse. Absolutely. Um, it's not VAR, it's the ref screwing it up. Is it though? Is it though? Like I said earlier, because of this, I can't find it now, but because of like, VAR being able, people at VAR being able to make recommendations, I don't know. Is it just the refs? George Jones, Balbuena shouldn't be starting in the next few games anyway. We should go to a back four. I think Balbuena actually played fairly decent, George. To be honest with you, should we go to a back four? Might be, maybe. But ironically, who would? I mean, um, I did say I think Diop has played well. Ogbonna is obviously our best central defender, and if you were playing a back four, maybe I'd go for those two. But I think Balbuena didn't do too badly at the weekend. Ted, the concept is a no-brainer, but how VAR is being run is below standard for a league like ours. Totally and utterly agree. Epic, we should hear the audio. I agree with that. Not from me, Nippon. Toby, I was proud at how the fans of the clubs involved grouped up with the rest of us, and I also don't think you should be docked points. Well, we have a difference of opinion there, Toby. Arjun, hello, mate. Another game, another unfair decision against West Ham. Yep. Lord Liam, Chris Canvar's Mike Dean, number 2. He looked like a rabbit in the headlights afterwards. He knew he'd made mistakes. Toby, I'm driving now. You have my ears, but not my fingers. No problem, mate. You drive safely. Azzy, why can't we hear the conversation the referee has with VAR like they do on field with rugby? It would clear things up. The hardest thing to accept is we don't get clarity. I totally agree. Mandy, he can only give that card if it's deemed intent to hurt. For that reason, it should get overturned, and we are waiting for the outcome of that. VAR and reffing should be completely separate, and the VAR officials shouldn't be able to give advice. That's exactly what I think. I don't think they should be. By all means, say to the ref, "Come and have a look," but then just shut up and leave it to the ref to make a decision. Daniel, I meant it wasn't a clear and obvious red card. Thank you. They shouldn't have had to stop the game for a challenge like that. Ref didn't even think it was a foul. Exactly my point. Absolutely spot on, Daniel. Kaiser, the second angle looked even less of a penalty. Corrupt, biased officials. You can't help feeling that. I don't want to think that, but you can't help feeling that. Kent, refs are robots, can't ref the game humanly anymore. That is so true, mate, isn't it? It wasn't like that in the old days, was it? Tom Morris, they're looking at the offside rule, considering whether to make it the feet of the player has to be onside rather than the shoulder and the sleeve. Even that's ridiculous, isn't it now? Offside used to mean offside, and now it's like, oh, your finger's offside. I've got a big nose. Oh, your nose is offside. I'd be at a fair advantage if I was in the Premier League. My bloody nose would be offside all the bloody time. Mandy, I would prefer a back four with Bowen, Jesse up top, Fornals, Benny, Noble, and Socek behind. We'll get to that later in the week, Mandy. We'll get to that later in the week. Gary, still, by the time they look at VAR, you could have paid. You could have played in another room. Mandy, slow down. I'm trying to slow down, but I've got to go back to work, I'm afraid. So, and Azzy, would you agree with timeouts over sending offs? No, that's American football. Sod all that, or whatever it is. That's for other games. Mike Anderton, the ref bottled it. I think he did. I think he was advised by the VAR officials. Reese Ibrahimovic would be screwed with that. Stuart, do you agree, Stell, that folks above us don't want West Ham top 4? Well, could yet prove everyone wrong. I don't know. I don't think they like it. I don't think they like Leicester there. I don't think they like us there. Are they trying to screw us over? I don't know. Nipam earlier said all these clubs going for the Super League should have been docked points. And Lord Liam says, Nipam Sharma, disagree, mate. It's not the fans or the players' fault. Your owners are no good and they're greedy sods. Kent, if they do feet offside, they'll be asking scouts to look for players with size 6 feet. Azzy, what do you think of Trossard? Could Moyes sign him to convert him as a striker? Don't know, don't care. Sorry, Azzy, I just don't do transfer stories so early on in the season. But watch out for all the transfer shows that we're going to do at the end of the season. Daniela, one thing that needs to go is the way we seed teams or all seeding should go on the season just gone. Not want a team, not wanted to. Didn't understand, Daniela. I do apologise. Sorry. Claret, seems as soon as VAR comes along, our rules change monthly. I think that a clear indication that VAR isn't working for our sport. I think it is a clear indication it's not working properly. The concept's right, the execution's wrong. We shouldn't change the rules for them as it's sort of corrupt decision anyway. Reese, I think they don't want us to do well because it doesn't fit with their fairy tale and doesn't make them as much money. Lord Liam, Luis Suarez will always be off with his pearly whites. And the last comment, I missed the transaction from Reese. I missed the transfer section of the flagship show. That was hilarious. FA King, no one yet. Right. Thank you all for watching. I got to get back to work. Much appreciated. That let's go. Art table, last one. I don't even blame VAR for Balbuena. Ref should have seen that wasn't a foul. Yeah, that is very true. Good afternoon, Vegeta. Hope you're well. And Mandy, we need more ex-footballers coming through as refs. And I'm not going to comment, not going to show any more comments because I've got to go. Thank you all for watching as usual. Anton will be back with the West Ham Daily tomorrow. He better not do any transfer stories because I've told him not to. So there you go, Anton. Join us for that tomorrow and have a nice rest of the day. Much appreciated and have a good day.